What's up guys, it's Christian from Low Rated Duelists, and today I'm bringing you a list of the top 10 cards from the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon. Legend of Blue Eyes, of course, was the first ever set printed in the TCG, and so we've done a couple unboxings and openings of the packs recently on the channel, and it got me thinking about what kind of cards were in it. And so I went ahead and put together a list of what I think were the 10 best, and it's not a list of my favorites, it's a list of what cards I think were good at the time. So this is from the point of view of when this is the only Yu-Gi-Oh set out. Like what cards are really good and difficult to deal with and stuff like that. And some of them are actually still good to this day. So it's not my favorites or anything like that. And it's in no order from 10 to 1. I mean, I put it in kind of a loose order. So some of the better, cooler ones are going to be at the bottom. But it's not like a hard 10 to 1 or anything like that. So don't attack me for that. But let's just go ahead and get started and see what we've got. So first is Fisher. Destroys one opponent's face-up monster with the lowest attack. So you have to think that, you know, back in the day, like you could normal 2 monsters, work really hard to get them on the field, tribute them for a Dark Magician or a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and then your opponent just plays Fisher and it's gone, if that's the only monster on your field. So for that reason, Fisher could be kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. And like back in the day, whenever Jinzo was a card, I know I said that, you know, I'm thinking of this as the only set. But whenever we used to play like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! And I had a Jinzo on the field, I thought I was like safe from everything, and then my opponent would just play Fisher and get rid of it. And it used to make me so mad. I was like, man, I worked so hard for that, just for it to be taken away by a stupid Fisher. So next is Maneater Bug. So it's a flip effect. It destroys one monster on the field regardless of position. So you have to think that like this can just take out a monster like that. It was so good back in the day, and it's just like such an inconspicuous card because it would be set face down, and you're like, okay, it could be like a mystical elf or a giant soldier of stone or anything. Like they could just be trying to protect their life points. If I have a Blue Eyes on the field, or a Tri-Horn Dragon, or a guy, the Dragon Champion, or anything, and then what is it? It's a Maneater Bug. There goes my monster. Great, awesome. So for that reason, Maneater Bug was kind of busted. I can only imagine what it was like playing through it back in the day. And so I did use LOB cards when I had them. There were a couple that I couldn't find or don't have anymore, but for the most part, I tried to use the LOB cards for the purpose of this video. Next is Trap Hole. So if the attack of a monster summoned by your opponent, excluding special summon, is 1,000 points or more, the monster is destroyed. So back then, special summoning wasn't as prevalent, right? So most of the summons are going to be normal or tribute summons. And if it's 1,000 or more, flip Trap Hole, gone. So that sucks. I mean, that destroys anything and everything that you have brought out on the field with more than 1,000 attack points. So for that reason, Trap Hole is on the list. Let's see. Skull Red Bird. Okay, so like stay with me, right? You're probably like, dude, what's wrong with you? But I was looking, and I was trying to look for the strongest level 4 monster, something you could just bring out, normal summon, and swing with. Believe it or not, Skull Red Bird is the strongest level 4 monster in the first set. I thought it was going to be Celtic Guardian at 1400. I was looking through the list, and for a long time it was strongest. Then I got to Urabai with 15, and I was like, oh, it's Urabai, right? Nope, Skull Red Bird, 1550. Oops. Skull Red Bird is the strongest level 4 that you can just pop out and start attacking with. So for that reason, I put it on the list. I know it's kind of a weird pick. It's a dark horse, but I mean, you have to think back in the day. That was really good. All right. Dark Hole. So, I mean, Dark Hole is good to this day. Like, board wipe is important. This one destroys all monsters on the field, of course. I didn't have the LOB Dark Hole, so I went with the reprint, which looks really good, by the way. So Dark Hole on the list doesn't really need much of an explanation, I don't think. Let's see what's next. Swords of Revealing Light. So yeah, let's read it. Flip all monsters on your opponent's side of the field face up. This card remains face up on the field for 3 of your opponent's turns. Sorry, I'm trying to bring it closer to my face. Well, this card is face up on the field. Monsters your opponent controls cannot declare an attack. So yeah, we've all seen the show. We know how this works. Ooh, so pretty. Swords of Revealing Light just basically buys you 3 turns unless they have a D-spell. So you could be on your way to winning a duel, bringing out the big guns, and your opponent drops Swords of Revealing Light on you, and it gives them basically 3 draws to like out your monsters, to draw the Dark Hole. Blue Eyes White Dragon, yeah. So I didn't put him at number 1 or like at the end of the list because it was just too obvious. And I don't have the LOB Blue Eyes, I'm sorry. I feel like I've had one in the past. I didn't have one, but I got the right art. I went that far. I got an ultra rare with this artwork. 3,000 attack, 2,500 defense, still the strongest vanilla monster. The namesake of the set, doesn't really need much of an explanation. Couldn't get over it. I mean, Dark Magician, it runs over. Tri-Horned, it runs over. Even Gaia the Dragon Champion, which you had to summon a Gaia with 2 tributes and a Cursive Dragon with another one, and then play Polymerization to bring out only a 2600 attack. So, Blue Eyes White Dragon, enough said. Monster Reborn. Yeah, so I didn't have the LB one of this either. I know I've had one before. I think I sold it. I was really, kind of bummed that I didn't have it. Target one monster in either player's graveyard, special summon it. So, Monster Reborn just came back off the ban list. There's a reason it was banned for a long time. It's a good card. Either player's graveyard, just bring it out, boom, no cost. You can then use it to tribute. You can use it to, okay, back in the, I was gonna say overlay, right? Back in the day, you could use it to tribute. You could just swing. You could, I mean, there were no restrictions. You just get the monster. That's it. Great card. All right, I think there's two more. Let's see. Pot of Greed. I mean, is this still arguably one of the best cards in the game? Draw two cards from your deck. Poof, poof, just like that. Done. Poof. Pot of Greed. Awesome card. And last but not least, let's, I don't actually remember. Oh, I do remember. Okay. Raigeki. So destroy all monsters on your opponent's side of the field. Still a good card, still limited. I mean, arguably not like a staple, but definitely kind of, like it's a close to a staple, if not like a good just side deck card, just being able to board wipe and only your opponent's monsters, without the restriction of Dark Hole, which is going to take out your monsters as well. You have to think, man, back in the day, and yeah, you'll see that my Raigeki is not near mint. I've had this thing for a million years, and it's got a couple of bends on. I don't know if I did them or if they were there before I got it, but this is an LB Raigeki, very cool card. But yeah, back in the day, just your opponent, poof, Raigeki, say goodbye to everything. Congratulations, you lose Yu-Gi-Oh! You could work so hard to bring out, your Celtic Guardian, and then your Blue Eyes, and your, if you, say you did the play, you tributed 2 for Gaia, you tributed 1 for Curse, Polymerization, bring out the Dragon Champion. Sorry, like, awesome card, Raigeki. Still a good card to this day, depending what deck you're playing against. So that's the list, guys. Like I said, it's not a list of my favorites, and it's not like a hard, stiff, like, this isn't number one. I just put it at the end because it seemed kind of number one-ish for back in the day, right? And like I said, I was trying to think of the mindset of somebody playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In 2002 or whatever when this came out. So that's the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much. I'm planning on going through like the first 5 sets. Like, so I'm gonna do this up through Labyrinth of Nightmare. Just for the sake of it, because I'm kind of on a nostalgia trip right now. So thank you guys very much. If you disagree, if there's something I should have put in, let me know for sure. I did look at the card list, but I didn't sit there with like my pen and paper, and my whiteboard trying to figure out like, oh, what goes on the list? Was this better than this? It took me like 5-10 minutes to make this list. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next video.